Your friends will be your greatest assets in your times of greatness. But when it comes to your formative years, it's very imperative for you to understand, and it's a pill that you have to painfully swallow, that sometimes they will not be there. Although they can be a very fundamental part of your greatness if you only understand how to maximize them. Hello there, I'm Jackton Emmanuel Juma, the Potter, they call me. But here's the Potter's voice. Welcome. Now, I tend to talk about something that has been so personal to me. There is a journey that I intend to walk with you in terms of building a vision. And when I talk about building a vision, you might not be building a vision as mine, but in your own capacity. You are doing business, you are in career, you are in music, you are in any industry, production, but at least there is something that you're trying to build. I am here to talk to you that there are stages that are involved in building a vision. And when you're talking about the stages, the first and always will be the conception stage. And from there, we'll always move to the next stage, which is about the formative years. And then from there is the establishment years. And we proceed to the last, which is the stage of greatness. In all these stages, it's very important for you to understand on how you relate with people, because how you handle people matters a lot on the assets that you're going to have at your disposal. What do I mean by this? I've been in the journey of building a community known as I Become. And in building this journey, I began in the conception stage in which I had great ideas, I had a great vision, I had a great of things that a plan that I had actually planned on the things that I was supposed to do, the people that I'm supposed to meet, the mentors, the connections and everything. But all these are ideas. And sometimes we tend to think that as we think, that is how things are going to be. Unfortunately, things turn out very differently when it comes to the after the formative years. Because why do I say so? In Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power, law number 2, he states that do not solely rely on friends, but use your enemies as your advantage. I tend to agree and disagree with him because when it comes to friends, they become a very important aspect of you when it comes to the greatness years. But in the formative years, it is very important for you to understand that the people that you don't know might be actually the people who are going to help you most. That is not to say that friends will abandon you. Some of them will be there, some of them will be active, some of them will be passive. But in so saying, it is very important for you to be intentional when it comes to the relationships that you're meeting with people. In the formative years, there are 3 important things that you need to consider. Number 1, the vision that you carry. There are those that you're going to share the vision with, and there are those that are going to be part of the vision. What do I mean by that? You can share the vision to somebody. That doesn't necessarily guarantee that they are going to carry the vision with you. You can spread it to every other person. It might be a business idea. It might be a company that you want to begin. It might be any area that you want to venture in. That is a vision. The Bible talks about Joseph, who God actually gave him a vision to become a prince one day or a leader. You see, the people that Joseph shared with in the beginning were family. But as we all know, family did not turn beneficial unto Joseph. Not knowing that it was beneficial, it was a blessing in disguise. I'm going to share with you that later. You see, there are some of us that share our visions with people, mostly our friends, and we think that they are going to be part and parcel of the vision. Let me tell us, and let me surprise us, that sometimes that is not the case. What do I mean by this? I came to understand that the people that mostly we don't know are the people who become biggest pillars in our formative years. The people that you never knew. You just met somebody, you shared your vision with them, you went in a networking event, you were in a supermarket, you were in a hotel, you met somebody, and you had a conversation. That conversation mostly tends to be a catchy one that is going to attract these people to you. But if we solely rely on the friends, most of them might not be part of the vision, not because they don't understand, but 1, the effect of familiarity. Number 2, the aspect that the vision might not be aligned with what they are doing currently. Number 3, they might be willing to support but they don't know how. And lastly, they might be even willing to support but they don't have the resources. All these factors put together, you find that these people might be present but passive in nature. So it's very important for you to understand that in the formative years, be intentional with using people who are not of your kind, people who are not close to you. Because number 1, they'll be loyal to you. There is something that they need to learn from you, and the aspect of familiarity will not be there. Number 2, There's something that you'll have to deal with when it comes to the formative years. What do I mean? There is something we call doubt, and doubt will originate from two angles. Number one, from the people that surround you, and number two, from yourself. I want to tell you that constantly there are many times that I've doubted the vision that I'm doing. I'm doing a mentorship vision that is aligned in bringing young men, creating a space where people come to engage, to talk, to network, to bring ideas on the table and empower each other. You know, there are those people that you meet, but let me tell us, there are people that are going to come who have tried that vision before, who have tried or walked that journey. Maybe you are in photography, you are in graphic design, you are in any area, any field, engineering, marketing. People are going to tell you that it has not worked before. The fact that it has not worked for them does not mean that it's not going to work for you. You have to find your own path. But you find that one of the most constant struggle that you're going to encounter as a person who is building a vision, a person who is geared to greatness, is self-doubt. And it's very normal, it's very natural, it's very conducive for you. Only you need to understand how to use it for your advantage. Because you'll doubt yourself. There are days you're going to wake up and think, it's enough. There are days that you're going to think, I've done it and it's not working. But I want to tell you that if you focus on the end goal, you might not actually reach there. You must focus on the little steps and the little wins that you meet along the way. You might be having a bigger vision of impacting 1,000. Begin with the two that are around you. You might be having a vision of building a mansion, building a company that will spread throughout the continent. Begin with the nation, begin with the village, begin with the town. The moment you conquer one step, that is going to be something that you're going to look back and say that I really conquered this. Because let me tell us, even David, as we know him, he killed Goliath. But before meeting Goliath, he met the bears and the lion. Something very fundamental is what happened when he first met the lion, because he had no testimony of victory. Those are the tests that mostly discourage people. Number two, the kind of doubt that you're going to meet is from the people that surround you. And most importantly, they will doubt you because they don't know what you carry. They are familiar with you, as I said before. And some of them might not carry the ill or a good intention to support you. So it's very fundamental to do what? It's very fundamental for you to understand that these are struggles that you're going to struggle with during your formative years. Lastly, there is something that we call the inbuilt, our greatness that God had for you. What do I mean by this? Jeremiah chapter number 1, it talks about God calling Jeremiah and tell him that before I formed you, I knew you. And in your mother's womb, I ordained you for nations. You see, before this person came to existence, there is a seed that God had deposited in them. The only problem is that we don't realize it. We don't realize it. And every time we stop ourselves from trying it out, we kill that greatness that God placed in us. From the beginning, God had something for you, but it's very important for you how you're going to network and how you're going to bring it out. As I began by saying, I began that friends will be an important aspect of you in your greatness years, but in your formative years, enemies will be the people that are going to come to you. What do I mean by that? Don't rely on your friends to see the greatness in you. Don't rely on your family to see the thing that is in you that other people are seeing. You might be out there meeting a new person in a marketplace, in a networking event, in a sports event, in a company somewhere, and somebody tells you a joke like, I see you as a leader, I see leadership in you, I see you can do this area very well, I can see if you focus on this area, you can be productive in it. Those little, I call them rays of hope, rays of light. You might think that they are small, but God is trying to communicate to you that there is something in you that you've not realized. Most of us tend to focus on our people that are close to us for them to see the greatness in us. Don't expect somebody who saw you walking naked with probably a shirt or without a top to see greatness in you. That doesn't happen. It takes somebody who does not know you to see what is inside you. So don't rely solely on the people that surround you. Rely on the enemies. Rely on the strangers. Rely on people who don't know you. The moment they pinpoint some greatness in you, work on them because they have seen something in you that others are not going to see. And when it comes to the years of greatness, then the people that you thought will not support you, unfortunately, human beings are selfish beings. They will see something in you that they want to get from you, and that is how they will come to support you. And those friends, when they come, don't discourage them, don't shun away from them, don't push them away. But what you need to do is to use them for your advantage. Why? Because Robert Greene says that an enemy has a point to prove. So a friend that came later, after you build through the formative years, you've built in the establishment, you are in your greatness at your peak. This person is not going to come to help you, but they want to partner with you because there's something they're going to get from you. And when they come, they'll be loyal to you. Why? Because already you achieved, you proved, and you have a track record. I believe that this is going to inspire you. I believe that this is going to push you in the next level. That is my voice. I am Emmanuel Jackson, the Potter's Voice. Thank you very much.